A wonderful good morning to you, Grenada, Caribbean, Pretty Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. It's your boy JC. It's Saturday morning. It's the 11th day of the month of December. And we are inching closer and closer and closer to the Christmas holidays. I'm not sure about you, but it's the most wonderful time of the year. Whether you agree or you disagree, it's not going to change anything. JC says so, and it is what it is. And that's the gospel according to me. You don't have to agree with me. Today, folks, it's another wonderful day. We're getting ready for Sports Central. Today, we focus is an all-football affair. Chit-chatting my first guest this morning from inside of the GFA, Nisha Peters, and we talk about everything that's happening inside of the GFA. For the second half, as we always do, Sid the Kid, he's going to be joining us, and we'll be talking about everything that's happening inside of the leagues around the world, starting in the Premier League, the top games for today, this weekend, the real pretenders, contenders. What can we expect as we go into the holiday season and we look into 2022? The Bundesliga, the French League, La Liga, whatever is happening football-wise, today's an all-football affair. And certainly, it gives me the pleasure to say good morning and welcome to my dear friend, Nisha Peters. Good morning, Nish. How are you?
Good morning, Joseph. I'm good, and how are you?
I am wonderful as always. I get the feeling that you're still enjoying the luxury of working from home. Or are you back in office?
I'm back at office. There is no luxury of
Ooh, I was about to start hating, but then I realized there's no reason to hate. You, like all of us, you are back. You are back. How has COVID treated you though?
COVID treated me wonderful. I'm COVID free since it started, and I'm planning to continue to be COVID free.
Why don't you just say since the start of COVID you've been working from home? You have all reason to be COVID free.
Since the start of COVID, we've been working more.
You've been working from home, Nisha. Working more what?
Working is not a bed of roses.
I didn't say it was a...
Working from home is a bed of roses. Tell them Nisha Peters said, they lie.
We know, and that is the truth, you know. People have actually, and not just people, I actually saw a report last year from a union in Ireland that actually indicated that since the pandemic, folks who actually complain of being much more stressful because working at home, they literally, it's not just about being at home, but then you have to be literally, you're home working, kids are home, family home, there's housework to eat, and there's never a break. So believe me, I think for some people,
you just work until you're ready to go back to bed.
And it's almost like a revolving door. It is a revolving door.
Basically.
Football on the island is also a revolving door. There's always something happening, and I know we got, great news. The curfew has been totally removed. We're trying to get back to normal, and I know it signals great news for the GFA. What can you tell me?
I know it's something a lot of people have been waiting for a very long time. Even us here at the GFA, we've been waiting for this for a very long time. Yes, there is no more curfew. However, there are still restrictions in place.
Right.
So football, but we still having football without any fans. Yeah, it's something that is not something we're going to get used to, but we have to work with it. And hopefully, as time progresses, the fans can come back into the stadium gradually and on the fields, looking at the different teams play. Right about now, this is our second day for our Women's Festival. It started last Saturday. We had 5 games with 5 teams playing in a round robin matches. Last week we had Queen's Park Rangers come up against the national U17 team. The U17 team got the better of Queen's Park Rangers 3-1. We also had Boca Juniors playing St. Max Super Strikers. It's a pretty young team, St. Max, so they were brutally beaten by Boca Juniors as 13-1. We had Paradise FC coming up against Queen's Park Rangers in that's Queen's Park's second game. Paradise got the better of them 2-1. We also had the National League 17 playing Boca Juniors, and that game ended 1-1 for that, beating that game. And then we had Paradise also going to take on St. Max, and that game ended 3-0. So going into the second day, which is today, we have Paradise with the points standing table with 6, and then Boca Juniors on the second position on 4. the National U17 on 4, and Queen's Park and St. Mark's Super Strikers yet to secure any points. We have another 5 matches today. That game kicked off at 10 o'clock today. We have Queen's Park Rangers come up against Boca Juniors in the first game. The second game, we'll see Paradise come up against the National U17. And the third game, we'll have St. Mark's Super Strikers come up against Queen's Park Rangers. And then the fourth game, National U17 taking on St. Mark's Super Strikers. And closing up the day, we'll have Boca Juniors coming up against Paradise FCI. After all that game being played, we'll have a nice closing ceremony for players. You know, MVP awards to some of the best players out there. Presenting a little token to each team that is there, some equipment and stuff like that to them. No, it's basically this festival is about sensitizing about women's football. I know the girls been always complaining about, all the attention is on the boys,
right.
Need that about attention. Well, so we trying here at the GFA to ensure that they get as much game time as the boys. It may not be the type of games, same type of games the boys are playing, but at least trying to get them on the field of that, especially at 11v11 situation. Because last year we had the seven-a-side game, introducing them to 1v11 because into the future, that's the type of games that we're playing. Going to the CONCACAF games and the FIFA matches and them like that, they will have been playing 11v11 matches. And hopefully, they will condition for it and set and ready for it when the new year comes along. That way, we will introduce our Women's Premier League, which will be something they are looking forward to very much.
And Nina, I know that's a fact. When I spoke with a women's director of football 2 weeks ago, that's Renee, and she was really excited about this festival. But the festival just goes beyond 2 Saturdays and being out in the field, though. But it's part nature of that comprehensive drive that the GFA has been on, not just to develop football specifically, but women's football. And there's no argument. They have made a lot of strides, not just locally, but representing Grenada at the regional level as well.
That is correct. They just recently came from the Dominican Republic earlier this year, playing in the CONCACAF Championship, which it may not be. So the result may not have been the result we wanted. However, it gives them that opportunity, that exposure, to want more and to do better with themselves, basically. And
I think it would be remiss of us, and because very often we tend to measure growth and development in the result of the game. But the result, I mean, for example, old GBN says, our school motto, the school song says, the game is its own reward. And there's so much you can take away from whether or not if they win or lose, but the experience, the exposure, and the opportunities of being able to travel and what football offers them. Those are things that would stay with them for the rest of their lives.
That is true, because right about now we have this elite program going on within the GFA here, and we have a few female players working within the secretariat, getting that type of exposure of being in the corporate field. And also we have some on the field who prefer to be coaching and stuff like that. And they're doing that. And it's, as you're saying, football is just not about on the field, but also getting that experience otherwise, administrative-wise, going into the technical side of it, which is coaching and all this type of thing. And it opens up a lot of avenue for them. And I must say, women's football on a whole is not only in Grenada, but also in the region. You can see it's growing. And we here are looking to jump on that wagon as well and ensure that women's football grows as well. Because currently we in the pursuit of getting a head coach for the senior women's team. That is in the making, and hopefully sometime early next week or later on in the week, we can announce a new head coach for the female senior women's team. So it's not just about, as you say, on the field, but that self-development and that awareness. And I must commend also the manager for the senior women's team, because even though they're not playing games at this point in time, she herself is having sessions with them via Zoom. Giving them that feel of developing themselves, being able to be proud of who you are as a female player and enhance yourself being able to do a proper interview and just bettering yourself on a whole as a female player.
And I think that is quite important. And I think the GFA and its parent body, FIFA and regional, understands that. And there's also some educational opportunities that is available for young ladies that considers football as a way for them, a way of development.
Yeah, because right about now we have two players that's on scholarship out there in America. We have another female one who is doing this coaching camp out there as well. And the results from them is wonderful because they're playing and you're seeing results from them. And even from the one who is doing the coaching, she's doing a tremendous job out there. And hopefully others can emulate from that and grab onto those opportunities as well and carry on whatever they want to go on. And like this, if it's being a player, student, or being a coach, there's a lot of opportunities. And I just wish and hope that they grab onto it and hold onto it and accept it for what it is.
You've talked about the success for these young ladies and they learning virtues and things that they would not forget forever. But also it signifies also the commitment of the GFA. I know internally in terms of your structure, you have a women's director of football. You've also what's his name? You've also a development officer. I know you're looking to have a separate head coach. So it is fair to say that you're putting just as equal amount of effort into the women's development and the women's game as you've traditionally and continue to do on the men's side of the game.
Yeah, most definitely, because it takes an entire team to get this thing started off. Because people always see football as a man's game, but it's no longer that anymore. It's also a woman's game. And getting into it here in Grenada, I must say, it's something I heard our technical director said. A 13-year-old, a young girl at grassroots develops faster and is stronger than an under 13 male. And it is true. Women, they are don't feel offended, okay, Joseph, but we are stronger and we do develop faster than some men. I would say some men. And
I don't know why you're worried about me taking it personal. It is what it is.
And I'm putting focus on that. I know that is something within our strategic plan, and I know that is something our president has been talking about for a long time now. Seen that growth in women's football, and I'm sure he is happy with what he's seen, what is happening within the secretariat, and hopefully the public on the whole will be satisfied of the product that we put out there to represent Grenada on a whole.
And there's no arguments over that. Well, the hope is that as we get into the new year, I think the understanding is that school is going to retake its normal course. And I'm assuming you probably, the GFA, together in partnership with its other stakeholders, including the Ministry of Sports, quite excited, possibly, that we can see the introduction of football across all spectrum at the school level.
That is always a hope, and seen from the new Minister for Sport that's been that's Ms. Yolande Hosford. She's been working really closely with us from seeing become the Minister for Sports, and I must commend her for that. And we're seeing a lot more support from the Ministry of Sports towards football. Before it was kind of one-sided, but now there is a balance. I know because it's COVID and other sports cannot play, but we welcome that. We welcome that spirit, and we hope it continues. And it is something that we always wanted to do is the grassroots, to work with the schools with the grassroots, because we have parish coaches out there who goes around with the schools and work with the children in the schools as well. And hopefully, we'll have more school tournaments. Maybe I don't know, Jamaica is one of the islands that have one of the best school football tournaments, and hopefully we can emulate from that and grow ours that way as well. So, as I said, with the work with the ministry, we'll continue to work with the Ministry of Sports and that way we can achieve that goal.
If they can do it, certainly we can do it. And we know that the islands have a close working relationship, and it only augurs well for the development of the sport. There's a lot happening in women's football. The festival is on, and we certainly hope that there's the young ladies, it offers them the sort of success and excitement that they want. There's also a lot happening on the men's side as well. When COVID struck, it left a number of tournaments literally punctuated and unfinished.
Okay.
And hopefully for 2022, we can get them off the ground.
I became frustrated. I'm not a player, and I was frustrated, not even getting to see the game. So just imagine what that has done to the players who actually love this game, like life itself. And Joseph, football is life. Right?
It is life.
And we spent a lot of our tournaments. So on a 13 national tournament that had to be suspended, that put on hold. Or U19, the Premier League, everything else went on hold. And gradually later on in the year, we got to complete some of them. Right about now, last Sunday we had the semi-final of the under-19 tournament, which was really nice, and it was a great game. We had Queen's Park Rangers come up against Paradise FC. And that game ended 4-1 in favor of Queen's Park Rangers. And no, Joseph, don't think it. Don't think it. Don't. Let's not go there. Okay?
I'm not thinking anything. I'm not thinking anything.
The second game we had Happy Hill FC. They came up against Hurricanes.
Right.
And that game went in favor of Happy Hill. It ended 3-2. So in the final, you'll be seeing the third place first up. That game that game will be on Thursday, the 16th. We have the third place and the final, and the first game will be at 3 p.m. That's at the National Karen James Athletic Stadium. You'll see Hurricanes come up against Paradise, and then at the final, you will see Happy Hill come up against Queen's Park Rangers. So it's going to be really exciting. I know fans want to come out, and that's a really big thing. I know they want to come out. However, we still does not have that permission to entertain fans.
Right.
And what we'll be doing, we'll be streaming the games live. So you can sit at home and in the comfort of your living room and enjoy that game.
It's interesting that's how COVID has changed. And I think fast forward, not just for education.
If you hear me, I'm not hearing you clearly.
Well, you're not hearing me. What is it that you're doing? What have you done? Are you with me still? It's 22 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. Sports Central right here. I think that's Sports Central right here on Classic. Speaking here with Nisha Peters from the inside of the GF, bringing us up to speed on everything that's happening. Let me just double check. Nisha, are you still with me?
Yes, I'm here with you.
You're here with me. So we've talked about a lot. We've talked about the different tournaments. What can we look forward most to, though, as we inch closer to 2022?
More football. You see, the Premier League will resume in 2020. We'll also have the national finishing of our U15 tournament. Oh, just before I continue, also on Sunday, tomorrow, please God, we'll be completing the national under 13 tournament. That finishes off tomorrow, please God. We'll have the final for that. We'll see Crown City Strikers in action, St. Andrews Vicari Stars, St. John's Falcons, St. David Top Strikers, St. George's Royal Cannon, and St. Mark Western Stars. That's the under 13 team. They'll be in action tomorrow, please God. We'll close up that tournament tomorrow. Into next year, we'll finish off our 2021 under 15 tournament. That's our Sandals National under 15 tournament. We'll be closing off as well. Our Premier League will close off around the same time too. In 2022, we'll have the climaxing of the Premier League. And then our senior men's team, Spice Boys, they will be in action, taking part in the Nations League. Remember, they're in Group A right about now, so they have to defend that and maintain that status in the Nations League. We also have competitions coming up also for our senior women's team and our under 17 team. They will be in the CONCACAF Championship as well. coming up. So it's a lot of football, a lot of football. We also had the conferences to finish off. Right about now, we have some matters up against the DC with a few games. So once that is cleared out, you see the conference games being played off as well.
Wow, football. That's the plan. And when we talk football, we talk about the Premier League, its resumption next year. Well, for those of you that's followed football in the Premier League, well, there's a few games on, and we get to them later on. Well, Chelsea, after 21 minutes, is still 0-0 against Leeds United. Liverpool, Aston Villa, still 0-0. And there's Arsenal and Southampton. That game is still 0-0. Well, we can't tell you, well, Man City, they're up 1 goal. Well, that game is actually at full time. Man City, they completed a 1-0 victory over Wolves. Later on, Norwich City is going to play Man United. Yeah. Did I hear Man United? Okay, Joe, relax. Calm yourself. Nisha, I know you have to run, but there was some good news in the midst of COVID and everything. On the 20 boys, they represented exceptionally well. 2 weeks ago, I had a captain on with me just to chit chat about it. I spoke with the coach before they left, and they did an exceptional job. Unfortunately, the results did not quite reflect the spirit that they played in the tournament, did they? The end was the final.
Yeah, I know. And as you stated before, it's not always about the result. But right about now, that same U20 team, half of these players are in training right about now for the senior men's team.
Right.
To take part in our year. And as you said, they did a tremendous job. They represented well, and I'm very proud of them. We always knew that the last game was going to be a challenger, and they knew it as well. They showed up, they played, and they had out. But at the end of the day, it was not the result we wanted. But they could say right about now, hey, one day I will be representing this. They're doing that right now, and let's see what happens when 2022 comes around in the CONCACAF Nations League.
I mean, they did exceptionally well. They went through the tournament undefeated, and we all knew when they got to the final against Curacao, it was going to be a difficult one. But you know how I actually consoled myself when I saw the game? I said Curacao won the first half, Grenada won the second half. Yeah, they eventually lost 4-2. It was a game of 2 halves. I think, and what to me I took away from it is that Curacao, they won, but they themselves went through the tournament and not been scored against. Grenada was the only team, while they beat Grenada was the only team that was actually able to concede goals against them, and I think it only showed the mettle of the team, and I say hats off to them. The future is bright for football. I know you got to run, Nisha. It's a busy day for you. Anything you probably want us to touch on before you run?
No, I think I've touched on everything, but just know that with the relaxation, with the no curfew now, football will be back in full swing in 2022. And we're looking forward to that. And hopefully we'll be more relaxed when we get that go ahead to say, okay, fans can come out into the stands and enjoy the good game of football once again.
Enjoy the good game of football. The festival is on. Is that the National Stadium, is it?
Yes, National Stadium. All games at the National Stadium.
All games at the National Stadium. Go support. And for everything else, make sure you do your part supporting Grenada, support football, support our young ladies. Thank you, Nisha. All the best.
Thank you so much. All the best to you as well.
Take care. And if I don't get a chance to see you or hear from you again, happy holidays in advance.
Same to you, and thank you so much.
Take care. Sports Central, 26 minutes gone past in the morning time. We're getting ready to link up with Sid the Kid. What's happening in the Premier League? What's happening inside the Bundesliga? I'm telling you, it is going to be exciting. Why isn't he logged in as yet? Well, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back right here on Sports Central on Hot 98, Classic 105.5, and on GBN Television.
This is Island Life. Let us inspire you as we showcase our love for design, food, and fashion.
'Tis the season, Grenada, and all the action is happening on GBN. It's a mid-morning show like no other, with shopping deals, giveaways, karaoke fun, Christmas recipes, and a whole lot more. 'Tis the season for caring, sharing, and reaching out to those in need. This the season. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on GBN Television, Classic Radio, and GBN's Facebook and YouTube pages. Promotion runs from November 8th to December 31st. Stay tuned to this station for more info.
'Tis the Season is made possible by Ace Hardware, Kittens Healthcare, Grenada Tourism Authority, The Country Cold Store, Grenada Paper Products, and Sissons Paints.
Looking for that injection of vibes and energy, of course? Well, I've got just that. Hi, my name is Gary Mr. Smooth, and I'm inviting you to join me on the Hot Morning Show on Hot 98.5, 98.7 FM. Weekdays, Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 in the morning. I've got a healthy dose of your favorite and most infectious hits sampled with information, news, laughter, and all the other ingredients that go into making the hottest morning show on the radio. The Morning Heat. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit us up on WhatsApp, 435-7517. We've got topics, we've got discussions, calls, voice notes, and so much more. But I can't tell you everything. You gotta tune in. The Hot Morning Show on Hot FM 98.5, 98.7 with yours truly, Gary Mr. Smooth. Kaboom!
To see my granddaughter.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, reminds the general public to always be prepared. Make sure you have emergency supplies stocked away just in case. Here is a list to help you and your family. At least 1 gallon of water daily per person for 7 to 10 days. Enough food for at least 3 to 7 days. Non-perishable packaged or canned food and juices. Special items and food for babies and the elderly. Non-electric can opener. Cooking tools and fuel. Paper plates, plastic utensils, paper cups, trash bags and duct tape useful for cleanup or patching leaks in an emergency, blankets, pillows, first aid kit, medicines, prescription drugs, toiletries, hygiene items, moisture wipes, tarpaulin to cover holes if needed, bleach, water purification tablets, flashlight with extra batteries, battery operated radio, cash, small bills. Banks and ATMs may not be open or available for extended periods. Keys to house and cars, toys, books and games. Important document in a waterproof container or watertight resealable plastic bag. Up-to-date insurance, medical records, bank account numbers. Keep important phone numbers here. You may know them, but a loved one may not. A pocket knife, nails, a hammer and a rope are important elements. Towels and buckets are useful too if you develop a leak. Vehicle fuel, keep tanks filled.
A message from the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA.
It is important to know what your road signs and markings means. The zigzag lines means you should not park in the marked area. Parking is allowed inside the solid white lines on the edge of the road. Remember, look out for pedestrians. Pedestrians, be sure the vehicle comes to a complete stop before crossing. These tips can save your life. These tips can make our roads safer for all users. Be safe, be seen, be smart. A message from the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
This is Island Life. Let us inspire you as we showcase our love for design, food, and fashion.
This is a message from the Ministry of Health. If you or a family member suspect that you may have contracted COVID-19 and are displaying symptoms, please immediately self-isolate at home. This means that you must also avoid all contact with other members of your household. Do not visit hospitals or health centers, as this creates the potential for further spread of the virus, and it puts additional persons at risk when you come into contact with them. Your best course of action is to call the COVID-19 hotline at 458-4787 or 538-4787, or contact your nearest health center or medical station. Once your information has been received, health officials will come to you. Help prevent the spread of COVID-19. This has been a message from the Ministry of Health.
Indeed, we can't wait for Christmas morning to come. Indeed, we cannot wait. The song of the man, Steve Theodore. Till COVID. Well. You see, folks, I got my Christmas tree and everything here with me. We're getting ready to continue with Sports Central. We're heading straight into the Premier League. As soon as Sid the Kid sits down, I don't know if is that 2 goals that Arsenal got that got him all excited, or the fact that Norwich City is probably going to beat Man City later on. I'm not quite sure. What is it, or what is just the fact that... So, folks, we're going to enjoy Sid the Kid. He is on. I'm not sure. Last week he was a bit under the weather, or so they say. I don't know what is it. Was it? Good morning, Sid. What's up?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing fantastic. I'm actually happier than I've ever been in a long time.
I wonder what is it that's driving that high level of excitement on your side. Is it Christmas, possibly?
That and the fact that I will be watching football on Thursdays for the first time in 17 years. We'll get to that shortly. The Barcelona fans will know what I'm talking about.
The Barca fans. Yeah, I know. We don't want you that excited. It has to be something with Barca. Well, let's start the excitement. We kickstarted things inside of the Premier League. A number of games already. Games played already for the day. There's about 3 games that is in progress right now. Let's start with Man City. Any surprise? They got the better of Wolves 1-0.
Yes, it's pretty much expected. The surprise is the number of goals scored in the game, because Man City are known for their fluency in attack, scoring 4 goals easily. So the surprise is the fact that Wolves, and even getting a red card, they were able to hold their end very well against a very structured, oiled Manchester City team and only concede 1 goal. So that's a plus for them if I were the Wolves fans.
Indeed, because if you look at the stat sheet, the results at the end of the game doesn't in any way reflect the intensity of the game. You look at shots, Man City 24 shots, 10 on target, possession 72%. You look at the passes, pass accuracy. I mean, it was literally what was supposed to be a lopsided game, but at the end of the day, unless you're one of those. Go ahead.
Well, the truth is, goals win matches. Goals win matches. It doesn't matter the amount of possession that you have. And the truth is, under Pep Guardiola, coming from Barcelona, that system is there. The passes, because if you see the pass, as you said, the pass accuracy, 91% pass accuracy. And I'm reckoning these guys had close to probably 500 to 600 passes knocked about. So I'm thinking they're just doing that to make sure they have their tempo. They were making sure that they were in control of the game. And the fact that they got to go in the 6th, and it was a penalty. So it shows, that clearly shows, though, that there wasn't much penetration, much penetrative passes, in the final third. I would assume it was a lot of square passes, trying to break down the defense. And just looking here, Raul Jimenez was the one who got the red card. And that was in the in stoppage time in the first half. So then it didn't affect them defensively. So then that makes a world of a difference when you get that aspect where the defense was not changed up. They were able to keep their structure, and most likely the player was fouled in the box trying to do the solo effort or the spectacular, and they got their reward. So then this is definitely a game of 2 sides, where there was a defensive giant holding up against an attacking foe.
And indeed they were attacking. They actually had 14 corners. Listen, literally, that game should have probably ended 20-0. But it is what it is.
True.
It is what it is.
And then we had Brentford beating Watford as well, 2-1. That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. That was actually yesterday. That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. And right now,
3
we
games.
have the tails. Well, I will start with the one where Leeds is actually leading Chelsea 1-0, because remember, for the past couple of weeks, barring last week, we were speaking of how dominant and how proud we were of Chelsea being on top of the table.
Yes.
And now we're seeing a reverse gear being kicked in by them, which is not good. And they're currently down 1-0 to Leeds United, with Rafinha scoring the goal as a penalty again. And of course, as well, Chelsea is dominating this game based on possession.
They are doing that,
passes,
definitely.
Everything, but the game is far from finished. We can't count them yet. It's far from finished. They have the quality on the bench. They have the players who could come forth and bring the magic when needed. And of course, we have my boys, Arsenal, who is 2-0 up at this point.
I guess Southampton.
Yes, Lacazette had find in the back of the net there. And the thing is, there was midweek football as well before Champions League, and Manchester United they took advantage of us. It was an exciting game. That game finished 3-2 with Mr. Inevitable gets in the double in that game, becoming
Mr. Inevitable.
the first player officially to have 800 goals. You know, the average soccer player he could play. Listen, this is pretty astounding stat. You
just excited for one reason. You just excited for one reason. Yeah, go ahead. I'll give it the rest of the show just to talk about Mr. Here. You go ahead.
Inevitable, but Messi joined him. Messi as well broke Pele's record. Well, this has been a record-breaking 2 weeks of football. There has been a lot happening. So I'm not excited for him, but I'm excited for the fans who follow these stats, and they're excited because we won't get to see these players like these in history again.
But while you added though, we certainly our prayers continues to go for Pele. He's actually in chemo. He's expected to spend about the couple of extra days in hospital undergoing chemotherapy. So certainly the football world, certainly our prayers continue to go out for him. So talking about football, Arsenal 2, Southampton 1, Leeds United, well, they're up against Chelsea. Liverpool still deadlock against Aston Villa?
Well, you can't count on Aston Villa because, Stevie Gerrard probably has a little remedy. He knows the grass height and everything, and telling the players, don't go in too much, be wary of Sane and Salah. But I'm guessing, I can imagine the atmosphere in that stadium right now. Just watching Stevie Gerrard in that dugout, the fans probably chanting his name at first. I don't know. It's a game of mixed emotions. It's going to take a toll eventually, because if Aston Villa is going to win this game, I don't know how the Liverpool faithful is going to respond to this, because he's a Liverpool legend and in his own right. And to be safe, it's going to be. I'm going to go for a
Make a call.
I'm going to say a draw, just for the safety of statistics and for Steven Gerrard. I'm going to go a draw.
I just think you just want to stay on the safe side, so because you're not sure which one. But if we look at the stats, though, Sid. Let's looking at the stats. So Liverpool shots on goal 6-2. Shots on target, they've got 2. Possessions 63% to 37. Passes, as you would expect, 223 to 136. Pass accuracy. And that's where it's interesting now. In terms of, while of course Liverpool, they have the advantage in terms of passes, but you look at the accuracy, 81 to 74%, and you could understand now why the game is the way it is in terms of fouls. There's been 3 red cards already, and it's still the first half.
3 red cards?
Yellow cards.
Yeah.
One for Liverpool and two for Aston Villa. We'll see how that.
Well, potentially the truth is the game could go either way, because you would say Saturday or the ball is wrong. All Aston Villa needs is one opportunity. And the tide changes. So, a matter of fact, I'm going to go away from the draw. I'm going to put my money on Aston Villa, securing a 1-0 win here.
Boy. Hey, what is going on here? Sid, are you serious? I mean, you almost sound like a politician. You were just going 0-0 all of a sudden. Well, what is this?
Because you see, you try to push to me that Liverpool should be in front, they should win. So I am here for the neutrals and the underdogs. Aston Villa, a goal in the 78th minute, park the bus, defend properly, a hurtful 1-0, puts a big dent into the title race for Liverpool. That's where I stand.
That's where you stand, and I'm not going to argue with you. So let's just look at the standards as it is. Master Control, if you can work with me, let's look. So we got Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, my favorite West Ham still in there. I mean, I know you're not happy now. I know you're not happy. I know you're not happy. You still think they're.
No, I'm not. I was waiting to hear your point on this, because you are the one that was talking about, well, they're up there, and I was simply saying that this is just a Cinderella run that's going to come to a halt. And look, we're almost halfway through December. Winter is creeping up. The snow is getting to them. They're going to freeze. Come back January, these guys are going to be for 6 or 7.
Just for the record, I'm not a West Ham fan, but you keep saying that listen, in sports, there have been a lot of Cinderella stories. And Cinderella stories, you've learned it historically. They've learned to make history. But you saying they're going to freeze up, we'll see what happens next week, the second half.
And Chelsea has scored. It's 1-0 as we speak. The goal was scored by Mason Mount.
So
42nd minute.
So we're looking at the table. Man City at the top, 16 points, 16 games played, 38 points, 3 points adrift. Liverpool. So Man City won. They won their game today. So we fixed on that.
They're going to remain on top.
They're going to remain on top. Liverpool, well, we expect them to win. They on 35 points. Chelsea, 34. We can play the match, and I guess that's where you start to see the excitement starting to take place. So we'll see whether or not there's going to be any shift in there, because they just 1 point adrift. If Liverpool wins, of course they go to 37. Chelsea will remain on 36. So we'll see what happens in the middle there. West Ham 27 on 27 point. Arsenal on 26.
Yes, if they continue. But the problem I'm seeing here a little bit is not a problem for the Man City fans. I think this is where it ends. I think second place is going to be decided between Liverpool and Chelsea. Throughout the history of the course, generally, the team that approaches a winter break in first position, they generally seems to run away with the title. And for the past couple of years, Man City has been doing that. Barring that anything happened to any of their key players, I'm going to put a leg out here and assume that Man City from here should have complete control of the title race, pending Manchester United, when they play some of these return fixtures, don't do anything surprising. I'm going to kind of put my neck out here and say Man City has full control, because this is where they are normally at this time of the season. So they have that experience in the last 5-6 years of knowing the tempo, knowing the season, knowing how to change the squad rotations. We have Champions League, but I'm going to put my limb out here and say that this should be comfortable driving for Manchester City going forward. It's going to be catch up for the rest.
Catch up for the rest. Let's leave the Premier League and we go head over to La Liga. I see the smile. I mean, you're almost that predictable. Eh? He's like, how did Candy to a try? I say La Liga, and all of a sudden.
Not handing candy to a child. You gave me the keys to the city.
I'll give you
the keys to them. Exactly. This in Candyland. Because the first thing I'm going to bring up here is your so beloved Real Sociedad.
They're not my beloved Real Sociedad. I mean, the folks, they are there. Now, even before
they were there.
Well, they're still in fifth position on the table. So let's just look at the table before we look at the matches today. Real Madrid, so Real is out front. Real's Sevilla, they're Real Betis, Atletico Madrid, and Real Sociedad. Barcelona sits in number 7. But you were happy to talk about watching football on Thursdays now. Yeah, let's get to you watching football on Thursdays. Before we talk about football, what is even happening today?
Today in La Liga, we have some great matches to look forward to. Well, there's one being played right now.
Yeah, let's see who won. Games being played right now. Alaves, they're actually up 1-0. We had
they're down 1. Getafe is up 1.
Right, they down 1-0. Espanyol, they actually completed a 4-3 victory. And there's a few games later on in the day. Yes.
So the game to look forward for this weekend is going to be there's 2 games to look forward. One on Monday and one tomorrow. Is going to be Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid, the Madrid derby. That has been
that's always an exciting
brutal over the last few years, especially the fact that Simeone, they have a lot of of trouble in the camp. They're not clicking as they should. We expect Luis Suarez, Antoine Griezmann to come up strong. And the great news of Real Madrid, we have Gareth Bale returning to the team sheet. He has been out for the past couple of months nursing an injury. There's rumors about his future at the club. We have Karim Benzema returning to the squad as well. He left the midweek game against Inter Milan because he felt a little muscle twitch, so he left prematurely to make sure it's nothing serious. He missed the midweek game against Sevilla Sociedad, and then he's fit and ready to play because this game is a huge game for the title race, and we have Real Betis versus Sociedad. Those two games are the matches of the weekend, and if you look at the table, you'll understand why, because Real Betis is for third and Sociedad is for fifth, and there's a 1 point difference separating them, so that is going to be very pivotal for their chances for European football next season.
Indeed. There's a lot happening over there, a lot of excitement as we head into the winter as it is. Christmas is literally just around the corner. Yes, but you didn't tell us about your great news. Why is it Thursdays? Yeah, you and your... What's happening Thursday? Well, football on Thursdays now?
What's happening? Football on Thursdays, because if we paid attention to what happened in the Champions League during the last week, and I'm going to go through the groups down the pecking order, just for the sake of the excitement. We had Man City and PSG winning their groups respectively as we expected. We have Atletico Madrid surviving the group of death. AC Milan waited 7 seasons to return to the Champions League, and sadly that their run ended prematurely. Porto is going to be playing in the Euro League. So then we have Ajax and Sporting as well coming out of Group C.
In Group C?
Sad for Dortmund, yes, because if Dortmund had scored at least 2 more goals in that game, they would have finished second. That game was epic because we had Haaland coming back. He came off the bench. The guy got a brace in pretty much 20 minutes. That was a drumming. That was a great game. Group D, the two favorites came out yet again. Real Madrid.
That's Real and Inter.
Inter Milan.
Yes.
So there was no surprise there.
Yeah. Group E.
Big surprise.
Group E. Yeah. Say it.
Big surprise.
Is it a surprise or a disappointment? Which one? Surprise or disappointment?
It's a surprise. It's a little of both, because when you have the weight, being a European giant, 5 times winners. So the question is being asked now, was Barcelona with Messi, or was Messi carrying Barcelona? Because I saw this one post, it had me laughing, because it said that Messi had deceived millions of fans into thinking that Barcelona was a football club. It is a football club, but they just have to revamp. But Bayern Munich, they took that game personally. They took that game to heart, especially the fact that Lionel Messi, we have to mention him, he won his record 7th Ballon d'Or, most in history. He stands alone. His closest competitor is Cristiano Ronaldo with 5. I don't see that gap being closed anytime soon. I don't see any other player getting that number of Ballon d'Ors. So the question beckons, was Messi...
Barcelona is out of the Champions League. I don't want no explanation. You can explain it as much as you want. They're out.
But then the thing is, so that means they're not going to be playing football in the Europa League, which is played on Thursdays. And that's a hard adjustment for Barcelona fans. So, listen, imagine 17 years you're putting on your television on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
And now
you have to wait an extra day. No, it hurts. It hurts. And you get the feedback from the local fans. There's mixed emotions. There's mixed thoughts.
Understandably.
There's some of the fans who they jokingly say that they're supporting PSG because they're done with Barcelona. But the thing is, the reason why, this is my personal opinion here, the reason why Barcelona ended up in this situation is 1, the board, and 2, the over-reliance on Messi. We go to Real Madrid a couple seasons ago. They did what they had to do. They allowed Ronaldo to leave. They kept key senior players. They allowed the younger players to come, integrate into the squad, and they didn't see that much trouble. They won the La Liga. reach as far as they could in the Champions League, which was good for them. But you didn't have this sort of pressure on the team. You know, Xavi coming back, he won a game, yes. He drew a game, he lost a game. And it's almost as if the club is in shambles. They don't know what to do.
Rebuilding time now?
He went rebuilding time, but the problem is you don't give much breathing space for rebuilding with a team like Barcelona. That's just the problem. They are not Real Sociedad, they're not Real Betis, they're not some of the smaller clubs where you give that grace period.
Right.
You expect results. You want to see consistency. And then this is a problem that this team is facing. And sad to say, they are not looking their best, but hopefully soon coming they will return to their best. Because think about it. Barcelona's main striker right now is Memphis Depay. He's a good player, but he's not your top-notch caliber striker. You expect you to win games.
Right, and that's the challenge there.
And that's the challenge. Moving on, we have Manchester United and Villarreal coming out of their group.
Nothing.
So it's good news for Mr. Ragnar. He played a completely different squad in the last game, resting some of the more experienced players. They ended their run with a draw. We have Lille and Salzburg coming out of the group in Group G. And the two favorites for Group H, Juventus and Chelsea, they came out as well. And there has to be a notable mention here.
Who's that?
For Mr. Sebastian Haller, or Haller, I'll probably butcher his name. The top scorer for Ajax, he had 10 goals in the group stages. And that's a record-breaking number because he's one of the youngest guys to ever do that, and he joins the like to score in almost every game with the Ronaldo, Erling Haaland, and some of the greats that has been in front of him. So we have Sebastian with 10 goals, Robert Lewandowski with 9 goals, Salah with 7. He's tied with Christopher, with a guy from Leipzig. Adama Traore from Sheriff, sadly he would not be able to add to his tally. And then we have Mr. Inevitable, Mr. Champions League with 6 goals, sorry. So the fact that they progress, hopefully he can add to his tally and make things happen.
I'm sorry, Barca fans. I'm really sorry. We ran out of time, Sid. Do you have to tell us anything about what's happening inside of the French league? Do you care? I mean, not like I'm in any way interested.
I like that. The only thing we have here is a lookout for Mr. Lionel. Oh, this is a big game. PSG versus Monaco. There has been history with that club. So tomorrow at 3:45, those of you Messi fans, those of you who are diehard, you could follow that game there tomorrow. Please a lot at 3:45. They are taking on Monaco, and as it stands, the standings, PSG is.
West PSG.
Wow, 11 points.
11 points, yes.
Yeah, they're gone. That league is gone. So it's between Rennes and Marseille. Monaco is for 7th. So I'm guessing this game is going to be for a bit more for Monaco than for PSG. But just for the Messi faithful, that's where you guys are. So
hold on. Slow down and say that again, just for the purpose of the Messi faithful. You're not speaking to yourself. You're speaking in the third person. You're not a Messi faithful.
No, sir. No. The only reason I speak about Messi and PSG in this aspect is because he is a footballing icon.
So you're not a Messi faithful. You're not a Messi faithul.
Sir.
Yeah.
No.
You're not. Okay.
No, you want to guess? I'm not a Ronaldo faithful either.
Well,
you want to get? If you remember our first set of conversations, you'll understand I'm French, and the French connection sticks. I appreciate the players, but I stick French.
Au revoir, then. Au revoir. Au revoir. Folks, you want to just to pass?
The Bundesliga, because we have Bayern Munich.
What's happening?
We have a 2 minutes here. So.
Yeah, well, Dortmund is
Bayern
done.
Munich.
Where's Bayern?
1-0, which is surprising, and we have Bayern 1-0 against Mainz. So they probably took out all the energy against Barca the other day. Kingsley Coman scoring for Bayern Munich. And then we have Dortmund, it's the 71st minute going on. It was a penalty, Sebastian Portela scoring. But the truth is, once you have Mr. Inevitable for them, which will be Mr. Erling Haaland on the pitch, which he is, Marco Reus behind him, Dortmund coming back winning that game 2-1 or 3-1. Putting my neck out here again.
Putting your neck out there, and you're looking at the tables. We've always said it's a two-horse race out there. Nothing much expected to change. And Bayern out front with 35 points. Dortmund, they're currently down 1-0, but they are on 30 points. Bayern, their game is actually one game apiece. Folks, this is Sid the Kid. I see you every week. I don't know. You brought me a size tiny. You brought me a size tiny, and every week you're sporting, you're flashing up with yours. Where can we find those nice sporting memorabilia? Tell us, Sid the Kid.
Well, the good thing is the size tiny was a motivation for you because you wanted to take me on in karate, so I want to challenge you in a one-on-one small goal fixture. So I wanted you to see that jersey, get fit, break a little sweat, and
no. You see, maybe when I told you I'll take you on one, you said when I said football, you were thinking soccer. When I said football, I was thinking defensive lineman.
Well, I have to live in the playing field somehow, but you're going to cut me in half.
You see, that's the problem. When I said football, you were thinking soccer. I meant American football. Defensive linebacker. Leave me alone. Folks, but where can we find? I mean, where you heading this evening? Where can we find our stuff?
Well, I'll be in Grand Dance. Let's call me 457-6159. I got your stuff lined up for you, your favorite teams. $50 for one. If you purchase 3, there's $125. Find 2 friends, get the deal, make it happen. I'm easy to find. If you don't see me, you find JC. I'm easy to find.
I'm the middleman in all of this, and I will negotiate a small commission. Peace and love. Thanks a lot, Sid the Kid. Enjoy your Thursdays now that you're beloved Barca. Boo. Have a good one, comrade.
All right. Thank you, man.
Folks, this is where we leave it for now. That was Sid the Kid. The guy is as hot as mercury. Yes, he's hot like lava. This is how he goes. Yeah. So this is what we leave it for now. Sid the Kid. Remember, check him out to get all of your memorabilia as we look forward to the second season of Sports Essential, because this is where we're going to leave you. This is where we're going to leave you for now, and we'll take a holiday break, and we'll be back in the new year. Winter is in, and we know Sid has to now enjoy his Thursdays. He's not used to it. He needs time to enjoy his Sundays. Folks, it's your boy JC. It's always a pleasure being here with you on a Saturday. I will continue to be here on Saturdays, but Sports Central, we are going to resume in the new year. Happy holidays for all of you sports fans. Remember, there's the Women's Festival that's taking place at the National Stadium, and Barca fans, call Sid, console him. There's nothing for you in the Champions League. We are so sorry. Peace and love will continue here. It's 5 minutes gone past the hour. Until then, so long, everybody. Happy holidays in advance.